Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to WNS9 Plus, presented by FanDuel. This is Anthony DiNardo. To my left, we have Jim Rosati. To my above, we have Tyler Sweeney. And then, hey, category to me, we got our big guest of the night. We got the Fort back. How's it going, baby?
Good, except I just had knee surgery on Tuesday. I'm broken out in hives. I don't know if it's because I'm thinking about the Pirate season or what, but I'm allergic to something.
You got Bucko fever.
Hey, I love that. I do. I have Bucko fever. I'm excited. Yeah.
Well, just make sure you keep your Bucko fever there. Don't bring too much of it to Pirates Fest this upcoming weekend.
It's not COVID. We're good.
You can go ahead and spread it to me. I'll take it. Give me all the Bucko fever.
Dude, you look good, Red. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I would.
Red I am, dude. So
I would.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah, pass the Bucko fever along.
That red hair with the red skin.
There we go.
You'd be a superhero. Not that you're not now. Sorry.
Well, I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Yeah. So what's up, guys?
Same old. Just hanging around, waiting for
a lot more
next move.
A lot more fun stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
What about that trade today, McKenzie Gore? I wouldn't mind having him on our team.
Yeah, and the return there was a lot of quantity.
But yeah,
Rangers
young quantity.
System.
Yeah.
Rangers farm system isn't like super impressive or anything, but they did give up their number 2 prospect. But I
love him too, Gavin Fiend. Great kid.
Yeah, I don't think it would have taken any of the Pirates' top 4, right, to get Gore. Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to have McKenzie Gore. I'd welcome him.
Yeah, that would have sucked, huh?
Yeah.
Him and Skeens 1-2. Whoops, Bubba falling out. Oh God. So
I mean, maybe if he's lucky, he could be the number 2 in this rotation.
I see where you're going.
I mean, Bubba said Paul's not even going to start opening day this year. So
okay,
according to Bubba, right from last year, it's Bubba, Paul, and then maybe McKenzie Gore.
I love the confidence. I love the enthusiasm. You got to prove it. I don't know how he's going to in a short spring outing, but we'll see. I've seen weirder things, I guess. Yeah. So where you guys want to talk? Where you guys want to go with all this tonight? It's been a minute.
You know where we want to go at some point. We can start it off, but I mean, obviously Pirates Fest is coming up, but we could talk a little about that because you're going to be there at Pirates Fest. But actually, let's just go there. Let's start with the fun stuff. You'll be at Pirates Fest. Pirates Fest is coming up. I guess first off, it is going to still be there, right? Like with this 12 feet of snow that's coming.
That's a great question. I'm going to be on crutches. I'm hoping they give me a motorized vehicle. I can be one of those old people that drive around and just hit people with my crutch and say, "Go Buccos." But we'll see.
Are you going to be on crutches? You are, aren't you?
Yeah. So here's a crazy story about my surgery. I went into surgery thinking I was going to have my meniscus removed. So this same meniscus I tore in 2013. I flew to LA because it was the only guy that would actually repair it. It held until recently. I was catching Bednar. I kicked my leg out, literally nothing of strain, just kicked it out and it got stuck. So it's like, oh no, it finally happened. I'm going to have surgery, There's no way any surgeon would have said, yeah, we're going to repair it. Well, middle of the surgery, Dr. Franks, the Pirates surgeon, runs out and says, Jacqueline, it's completely in great shape. Can I repair it? And of course, Jacqueline says yes. So I get out. Instead of a 2-week recovery, I have about a 4-month recovery. But I do have a full meniscus. He didn't take out 3/4 of my meniscus, which was what he would have done. So it was a blessing. It's just a different mindset now.
Now you got a rehab.
Got that rehab, kid.
Yeah.
I wrote my last protocol, so I feel pretty comfortable about it.
Get to know your physical therapist real well.
I've gotten to know them very well. This is number 6 on my knees, number 8 total.
So I'm thinking maybe at Pirates Fest, let's get a golf cart. I'm just going to drive a golf cart around with Bart.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, please. You'd be my security. Yeah.
I'll be fort security.
Yeah, I'll bring you my my bulletproof vest.
I am fort security guard.
Yes, done. You show up, you're my security guard.
There we go.
Get you a shirt.
Yeah.
Fort security.
Fortifying the fort. That's what we're gonna
there
have
it
to
is.
say.
Yeah.
You're his moat.
Yeah, he could be my moat. You kind of look like a moat.
There we go.
Yeah.
A human moat.
A human
That's
moat.
going on a graphics card tomorrow.
Yes. You're just a human mitt.
You kind of look like a moat.
Yeah. A little bit. I mean, I see. I mean, you got to be able to see it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, real quick too, shout out to Huffman for becoming a new YouTube member. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Huffman.
Closer for Toronto, huh? Is that Hoffman or Huffman? We'll pretend it's Huffman.
It's
Yeah.
It's Huffman.
But whatever.
That's
So,
that's it.
you asked about Pirates Fest. Pirates Fest is going to be, I hope, good time. It's going to be weird not having Cutch there, but I think it's a really good opportunity to have the fans meet some of the newbies. Really good turnout. Didn't get my schedule to the other day. They do not know I'm on crutches, so that's going to be interesting since I have 5 things to cover in a day. So it's going to be a long day, but it should be fun. It should be good. They're going to even let us get on stage and do a Bucks Bounty where we can ask questions. Don't know who my guests are yet, but should be interesting. So it seems like they want to be hopefully a little bit more out in front of things. I think communication, we talked before, is the biggest thing for this organization. Can they communicate what they're trying to do? Can they put it out there in the ether and then go chase it? And if they do, I think the fans will really respect it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely looking forward to Pirates Fest. That's for sure.
I'm a little bummed. I'm a little bummed because I was supposed to go.
Oh,
but
man.
Snowmageddon, there's just no way.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hike.
Unless I plan on just staying in Pittsburgh for like 3 days.
And that's tough. That's tough.
I don't want to do that.
I am planning on being there unless the snowstorm picks up and happens earlier. But I might be out of there around 4 or 5 o'clock just to avoid it.
Well, if you get there, let me know.
Oh, I'll probably be there.
Nice. I may even stay downtown just to be safe.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast. Oh, Tyler is going to be doing a podcast with Nathan from Pirates Fest too. So
nice. Yeah, too cool. Yeah, I love that they've embraced you guys a lot more over the last couple of years.
Yeah, they have.
It's about town.
They've been good. They've been good. They've been awesome. Can't really
just good. That's
really
good enough. That's good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been nice to us.
Yeah.
And we haven't totally made them, feel bad about doing that.
So far we haven't made them regret it. So
we've maybe come close, but not the whole way. So,
but it's so good for them, right? Like they need different voices to kind of throw out different ideas. Like some of my favorite things I do in the off season is I end up somewhere and I get surrounded by fans and they just ask questions. Brownie always, if I'm with Brownie makes them put their phones aside. I really don't care. But like we'll answer anything that we could possibly answer, or at least make them think differently. And the last time we did it, I wish you guys were there because I think it would have been fun for you guys to hear and also give your like input. But these guys were all sponsors at one point that we were with. And they all said, if we would have known this or even thought like this, we probably would have never pulled our sponsorship or never stopped being season ticket holders. They would have kept doing it. And that's why I say communication is such a huge thing for this organization because, we don't have so much PR on our side all the time, but if we can communicate kind of what we want on a given day and what we're trying to do in free agency and what we're trying to do as a team, I really believe the fans will back us way before we even start winning. Winning always helps, of course.
Well, it does. It absolutely does. And again, like sports is an entertainment business. You have to be entertained and like give a reason to make fans feel like they're going to be entertained.
Yep.
So yeah, for sure.
Yep, for sure. So what do you guys think so far about the offseason? Give me your take. We still know we need a pitcher.
Who's leading it off?
Yeah, who's starting this?
Yeah, I mean it's more than I expected them to do. I would not, if you would have told me that they would have gone out there and they would have gotten Brandon Lau and Ryan O'Hearn, I would have said, I don't believe you. It makes sense. Those are moves that they have to do. So I'm happy with the moves that they've made so far. They're still nowhere near where they need to be. So they still need to go out there and they need to make more moves. They are not good enough right now to make the playoffs. They are not better than the Brewers. They're not better than the Cubs. They're maybe better than the Reds. So, like, at best, they're the third best team in the Central. Realistically, they're right there with the Reds. They're better than the Cardinals. The Cardinals suck. They took a big step back. But they got a lot of work to do still. And there's really not a whole lot out there left for them to do. So, yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see how they finish up this offseason. It was a good start. I think everything that they've done up to this point was good. They got to keep going. And I don't have the faith that they're going to open up the wallet in order to keep going, but we'll see. I have a feeling they're just going to add some mediocrity when they need to add more impact.
That pretty much sums it up. That's where I'm at. I can't complain about what they've done so far, but it's not finished. So there still needs to be done. And the second half of this offseason, we might be having a legitimate complaining session of where it ended. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. Like, I'm okay with what they've done so far, but what's next?
And perhaps I am more cautiously optimistic than the two of them. And that is crazy to say. Because I did a little math here, just looking back at last year's playoff teams. If you calculate the total WAR pitching and hitting wise, the lowest one that made it in the National Leagues was Cincinnati with 32.3 WAR, and then you had the Padres with 36.6. The Pirates had 26 last year. So you need to find about 10 wins. A lot of that, I think, can come internally. You've already added probably 4 with Lau and O'Hearn. I don't think they're that far. And Mangum, I don't think they're that far off. There's still work to be done. It's a very fine line right now. Like, everything has to go right, but I don't think they're that far.
Yeah. And like, I agree with that.
I agree with the moat. I agree with
adding that impact ensures they're there. We're adding what we think's probably gonna get added, gives them a chance to be there. And like, that's the difference. And I feel like you need to ensure that you're a playoff team heading into this year, not like, hey guys, we're close. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, for me, they need more depth pitching wise, starter wise. I'd love to see a veteran, whether it's a Scherzer. Nick Martinez is still out there. He's a swing guy. I absolutely love the thought of bringing him in on a 2-year deal. I also know what type of person he is. We all love Quintana. I would definitely go that route. But yeah, they need somebody to have that assurance for the innings that they're not going to be able to fill. I do think their bullpen's in really good shape, especially if you look at some of the guys nobody's talking about. The closer is going to be that Aussie kid that was in AAA at some point this year. There's no question in my mind. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'd love to see them. I'm tired of hearing about Suarez. The fact that he said he doesn't want to be a bucko out in the open. He's an X. I'm marking him off my list. I want a Johan Maka anyways. Take a chance on him. I don't think he's played his best baseball, but he's more of a bench guy. And then you can kind of decide, hey, where does this guy fit? But he had a 789 OPS, and I think he played 90 games.
Yeah. Well, I have some bad news for you, Fort.
Did he just sign
with the Angels last night?
Yeah.
While you're in surgery.
Yeah. Well, you're
there you go. Well, but like that's kind of my thought. Like, instead of going out and get a Suarez, my thought is, like, if you want to give Nicky G a shot, Trillo comes off the bench, you think Connor Griffin's gonna be that starter. I'm okay with that, but be ready to move in mid-April if you need to, because Nicky G's got options. Trillo doesn't. So you could always push Nicky G down. But you have a roster crunch. We were talking, I think, Anthony, recently. O'Hearn and Horowitz are the same guy. Just O'Hearn's better. So what are they going to do there is very interesting to me, because O'Hearn can obviously play left. I think Reynolds is going to be our everyday right fielder, cruising center. But the best first baseman on our team is O'Hearn defensively. Year in, year out, he's bigger, he's stronger, he moves better. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do that and how they balance that out and see where he goes and where he plays. So, yeah, the problem they've had for years is where the bat's going to go. Who are they going to bet on? And that's still a lot of question marks for me. Obviously, Lowe's going to get everyday bats. Who's going to be the everyday shortstop? Is Trio going to get everyday bats? In the outfield, I think center and right, you could say, and left. Is it going to be a platoon? it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting of how they work all those guys. But the one thing is we know is they're very left-handed heavy.
Which I love.
There's going to be a lot of people in the DH, first base, outfield, which kind of brings up the question we all want to talk to you about, because there's a guy that's not going to be at Pirates Fest this year, which is kind of shocking to some level. I mean, he's been a mainstay since the return, since he's come back. It's Andrew McCutchen. He signs in December and announces he's coming to Pirates Fest, right? That hasn't happened this year. He's not going to be at Pirates Fest. And there's a lot of people that are talking like maybe Andrew McCutchen doesn't fit because, like you mentioned, there's Horwitz, there's O'Hearn, there's Brandon Lau, who you probably want to slide in the DH, give him some days off in the field. You know, his health's been a bit of a risk. Maybe Reynolds, you know, playing DH, get him out of the outfield full time and such. Is Cutch coming back? Should he come back?
I don't know. Like, should he come back? He should have been the first person signed this offseason. And the reason being is it's a 26-man roster. So take away everything that everybody's talking about. It's 26 men, right? How many times did Aliko Williams get called up last year and play? How often did Jack Sawinski and somebody else just sit on the bench? G1 Bay sat for 2 weeks at one point last year. So without, like, even going into numbers, which I can combat just about anything when it comes to numbers, you're looking at a guy that's been a staple. Go to him and say, hey, we have $3.5 million. We'll give you the rest of the money and incentives. You earn your at-bats, but you are a platoon guy right now. If that's how they feel, it sounds like that's kind of how they feel. But now they need a platoon right-handed bat off the bench, right? Mackey wrote the article, talked about Joey Bart. I don't think that even matters. I think you could use them both. I don't think Joey Bart necessarily fits on this team, kind of the way it's drawn up, because you have multiple guys similar to Joey Bart. So it's very interesting on how they're going to kind of move it. You're paying Joey Bart $3.9 million. He wasn't that much better than Cutch, if at all, last year, right? And defensively, he's a worse value. So when you try to articulate it and you look at our roster, he's a better player than a lot of the guys on our roster, even in a down year, which everyone had, which obviously made him have a down year. So it's one of those things. I don't know if you can recover if you mess this up as an organization, because Skeens is watching. Bo Chandler's watching. All these guys that could be long-term answers for us are watching how you treat the guy that's, I mean, probably the best player in the last 25 years, 30 years as a Bucko. And if you mess that up, I don't know. I think players would kind of say, what the heck? It's kind of my thought. I understand the argument is like, oh, he's done. He's what? The reality of it is, it's like, yeah, but do you want to mess it up? Did anybody watch what Pujols did at 42 in St. Louis? There's always that extra kick that guys have. And I've been hitting with Cutch some. He looks great. Better than I've seen him in a long time. Now, I'm not just saying that. And he could play outfield. Maybe not every day, but a couple days a week to lengthen that roster, because he can play right field, give Reynolds a day off his feet. They just didn't do that much last year. So
he made sure everyone knew that too.
Yeah, and I think he's trying to say, like, he wants to win. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, is like, I don't think anybody's asking the right question. Cutch, if you aren't playing as good as someone else, would you give up bats? And he would 100% say, if I'm a better player that day, I should play. If I'm not, I shouldn't. It's that simple. But when it comes to guys that could do it and have done it as a DH and having sparing their bats, I think he is the guy. And I don't think you can find anybody for the price, and especially with the ABS coming. And if they change some of the things, whether it's bring the fences in, lower the grass, all those things, all of his numbers just start ticking up more and more and more and more. Because his expected numbers were really good last year, especially comparative to a lot of our players.
So I 100% agree with you. And not
like
just because,
right? Like,
not just because Andrew McCutchen is my favorite player ever. He's gotten his signed jersey is hanging on the wall right behind me. Like, yeah, there's some subjectivity to it, but I agree with everything that you said. Like, when you look at this lineup, it's still not so good that, like, there's not room for Andrew McCutchen. This bench isn't so good that there's not room for Andrew McCutchen. There were periods of time last year where, and this is coming from someone who watched 150 games and did, 40 some post-game shows and
Exactly.
100 something podcasts. There were times I completely forgot Alexander Canario was even on the team. So it's like there are spots. There's 26 of them on the roster.
And
Not
Pagero
everybody
too,
has to
right?
play.
Another-
Like not everybody has to play every day. And if you're going to tell me that Andrew McCutchen isn't a top 10 hitter in this organization, if you were to sign him today, like, you're lying. He's probably more like top 6 if we're being real with ourselves. And you also, the moves that you've made this year, you've kind of put yourself in a position where, like, you've got to add some right-handed hitters to this lineup anyways. Andrew McCutchen is a right-handed hitter. He's got great career numbers versus lefties. He's got really good career numbers versus righties too. He hasn't really been that big of a splits guy over the last few seasons. Like, I mean, over the course of his career, he's very good against lefties, but over the past few years, it's pretty even. And I think the big thing here is, like, can he play the outfield once a week? And if the answer to that question is yes, then there's absolutely zero reason why you don't bring him back, like, at all. Because you do need somebody. Like, it does put a little bit of a hamper on your lineup if he's only a DH, but if he can go in the outfield and play 25 games in right field, there's room for him, and there's plenty of room for him.
Yep, agree completely.
I mean, that's 25 games you're not putting. Sorry, Alex Canario out in the outfield.
Or
no hate to him, but any of the other options we've seen. Aside from, I agree with everything that Jim just said. Aside from that, this is the time you brought Andrew McCutchen in for, I think. Like, Connor Griffin will.
Thank you for saying that. It's the
Connor
biggest
Griffin's
thing we're
arriving
talking about
this year.
Yeah, he could pass the baton.
Paul Skeens is top 10 player in baseball right now. Bubba Chandler is here now. Like, you got him for this time. Keep him.
Yep. And if those guys know he's passing the baton, because you're changing his complete, like, foundation in the clubhouse. You're bringing him back to who he is. He gets to just be Cutch, right? Because he has Paul Skeens. He has other guys that are very vocal. Maybe Brian Rule starts to step up. Guys start to step up, but you brought in veterans for him. You brought in Lau. You brought in winners. So that's going to give all this stuff that most fans don't think about, where Cutch has been the mediator forever between the players and the coaches with Derek Shelton. That started to end last year, and his numbers started to tick up. Now, if you start really focusing in on making sure these guys are facing the guys they have success with, playing them when they're hot, because the lineup always was shifting, right? I really believe every dude's number will just start to climb up based on being put in better opportunities, better situations. We saw it with the bullpen the last half of the season, how good Donnie was with that bullpen and how guys were set up really, really well. I think the same thing's going to happen with the lineup, but we don't have to be a top 10 offense. We need to be top 15. And Cutch was top 60 in almost every category you look at. And I really believe with the ABS, he's going to be a different dude. Like, you're talking about 15, 20 points by my understanding and all the nerd stuff I did of how much better he could be. He's the 5th highest worst calls in the last 3 years, which was 107. I believe he got called strikes. I mean, the prediction that it could drop 7-10 points on strikeouts looking, there's a lot of good things to that. And it lengthens your lineup up like crazy, because we have a lot of dudes that we want to swing early, but now we have Cutch, we have O'Hearn, we have Horwitz, guys that are a little bit more patient, that lengthen that lineup out in a good way.
And you do mention, I mean, we're talking the offensive side here of things. You know, you do mention that he was quite unlucky. And that's actually, I mean, that's a trend we saw with a lot of Pirates last year. I mean, that's something we talked about, like, why is their expected numbers for almost everybody, you know, such a vast difference than what their actual numbers were. Cutch was certainly including one of those. He was one of the higher ones. There was a stat that came out recently that even Cutch commented on us on Twitter about, like, the most unluckiest players with balls in play and such, and Cutch led the league in that. Like, there's a whole lot of things that, and I understand too, and this is going to go, you know, people that are watching this don't believe or don't understand, like, the metrics, the advanced stuff. Ball is ball, numbers are numbers. There's a lot of stuff that point to him being unlucky, but at the end of the day, this was his worst offensive year in a long time. You know, he was technically a below average hitter in a DH spot. You know, you're designated to be the hitter. That's the thing. That's your job. And he was technically below average. Even if he's sitting at about average, right? It's still like an average hitter per se. But you have Ron O'Hearn, you've given $30 million to this guy to hit. He's gonna be there. Brendan Lau comes in, big trade. He's got 20, hits 20, 30 bombs, a year at second base. He's gonna get some time there. Horwich probably gets some time there. Reynolds gets some time. So there's guys that can't hit. And like the biggest thing is the defense. Like if you're gonna have Cutch here, since there's such a log jam, he has to find somewhere else to play. So it's like, hey, maybe when Reynolds is playing DH that day, can Cutch play right field? So, you've kind of talked and gave your opinion on like the offense could come back because of all the bad luck, more or less.
Yeah, better players.
Tell the people that don't believe, because he hasn't played outfield. Like when he's come to the Pirates, he really hasn't played outfield. So there's this perceived mindset that like, well, if they're not playing him there, probably can't play. He's 39 years old now, or for like, tell those people that don't think Cutch can play. Like, why do you think Cutch can play the outfield still?
Well, because we have one at home. You think about right field, right? He can play deep. When Cutch can play deep, everything changes, right? Because he can attack everything that's low, and anything that's high, he turns and plays it off the wall. So his arm, because of how short that is, doesn't matter. And he showed the last 2 years, the very little bit he played in the outfield, he's been a plus defender. He's playing to his strengths. And him and Tyler Brock and Riddle started to understand this. I think Tommy Pham really opened up Pandora's box for some of these guys to think different on how to get good numbers when it comes to these behind-the-scenes matrix, whether it's defensive WAR, defensive run saved, because you have to play to your strength, right? Like if O'Neal Cruz is in right field and Cutch is in center field, Cutch in right, and you have Mangum in left, you can shade over into right and let Cutch know you got the line and you got deep. We got Cruz coming this way every single time, because I think one reason Cruz wasn't very good in the outfield early on is because they kept shifting the outfielders. So when you put Jack Sawinski there was a lot of issues because Jack Sawinski would be where nobody else would be in left field. Pham wouldn't be there, nobody else, but Jack Sawinski would be right in his way, right? So I think the familiarity and the understanding that Cutch, you're going to be a right fielder or you're going to play this like short porch. If we play in Boston, you're playing left. And he can own that. And I think the idea is don't try to do more than you have to. Make the plays, get the good reads, and you're going to play once, maybe twice a week. If you're really hot, it could be 3. But I think it just gives so much more depth. And you guys are right. Like that gives us a different value. But even if that wasn't the case, you still have a guy that could get 300 at-bats against lefties as a DH because you can maneuver your guys around, pinch hit in ball games, which he was really good at last year. A lot of guys weren't on our team. He did a really good job making hard contact. And you know that he's going to walk probably 80, 90 times, which is a joke. Now, if you want to talk about where he could improve, we've talked some about this, is his base running. Where he could really gain some value is his turns, his jumps, because he's still in that 85 to 90 percentile when it comes to his sprint speed, but it doesn't show on the base pass. So, yeah, you can look at it, see some areas of improvement, but I really do believe his swing is going to be better. One, because he's changed his swing a couple different times, and he's gone back to something he has not done in a long time. He looks almost vintage at times with how well the ball's jumping off the bat speed's jumped up consistently. So I'm excited to see what could happen. If O'Neal Cruz is hitting, what's going to happen for Cutch? If Reynolds is hitting, what's going to happen for Cutch? Right? Because you're talking about every one of these guys on this team had below average years. But we're harming Cutch because he's 39. But the reality of it is he had one of the better years when it comes to a bad year as some of these guys. Because you can look at Henry Davis, you can look at all these dudes that had down years, and you're taking double-digit homers away in a heartbeat for a guy that didn't get everyday at-bats. So I think for me, without a doubt, Cutch is a Pirate. He should be a Pirate. I want him to be a Pirate. It needs to happen soon. Teams are calling. There's real interest. And for the same reason that I said from the beginning, it's because why wouldn't you want him? You know what I mean? Like if he earns the at-bats, he earns the at-bats. If he doesn't, he doesn't. He's fine with that. I don't think people really understand that. You'd rather have him on a team that's been around a long time, that's won in a city that you're trying to win in, than someone that's random, that's had good years, that's going to not know the hitting coach, not know the players. It's going to take them time to figure it out, like we watch Horowitz. But also, there's nobody on our team that has more than 10 years in the big leagues besides Lowe. If he's not on our team, I think it just changes the dynamic. for me.
Also add in that, if he's not a Pirate, he'll never tweet because he would never respond to DiNardo.
It's true. I mean, it ruins your all's life.
Yeah.
You know? What would you guys do?
What would he
It's
do?
like the only time Cutch ever tweets is when he sees a DiNardo tweet.
True. I just don't think he likes you. I'm sorry.
I get it. I mean, at least I'm not blocked anymore. But it's probably so we can see the tweets, the quote tweet.
He's done better on Twitter. I feel like he's been pretty vocal recently. Which is good.
Yeah, DiNardo's been tweeting more.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So yeah, I think we're all on the same page with that. I just don't want him to mess it up. Because the human element, like, I don't know if I've told you guys this, the NIL stuff I think is going to come in the next CBA. I think it's going to be brought up. Cutch is worth $7.5 million for the Pirates without playing a moment. He's worth $7. So like when you talk about money, that's what I hate about all this stuff when it comes out. It's like, oh, is he worth this much? I'm like, yeah, if he shows up, he's worth that much. Like even as a coach, he's worth that much. Doesn't matter how you bring him in. And when you look at that reality, because I've been doing a lot of research because I want to coach college at some point in my life, and I was like, I wonder what Cutch is worth. Well, he's worth right now more than Paul Skeens. Maybe not at this moment because it changed, I'm sure, once he won the Cy Young. But like all that matters. Because if you're going to argue about money, you're making more money than you're paying him. And you have the last couple of years. And he's outplayed his contract. He's been worth 18.1. He's been paid 15. So it's like, what are we thinking here?
I'm with it.
Yeah, I think we're all pretty much in agreement there. Yeah, there's room for him. Like plain and simple.
Agreed.
They still probably need to add 3 more hitters to this team, and he can definitely be one of them. There's no reason. So
couldn't agree more.
For sure.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, before we transition to our next topic, you get to watch this live. We've done a new segment on our show this offseason. Dallas was fortunate enough to be the first guest on to watch it live.
What a stud he is.
You'll watch this live too. So it's really stupid. And again, I don't know why the Pirates work with us for things, and this is why. But yeah, let's just get into it.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
So
was that Arnold?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. That little tortilla boy.
We this very stupid thing where we have a question we ask. And the question for tonight is, and I'll say this, we want to hear your answer, right? This isn't designed for you. We have a wheel I'm going to bring up that we ask some random person. The wheel will determine who we ask it to. But tonight's question, everyone, is if you were head of product development at a major fast food chain, what food abomination would you create? So while I'm getting the wheel up, I do want to hear your answer for it.
Oh, man. Corn dogs.
That's it? Just corn dogs?
I'd be amazing. Corn dogs? Yeah, corn dogs. Little corn dogs, big corn dogs. I know Moat would want one of the long, giant corn dogs because he likes things in that shape. So, yeah, I think corn dogs. But I would try to do it healthy if I could. Try to lose a little bit of weight.
So wait, your abomination discovery here is healthy corn dogs.
Yeah.
Honestly, healthy corn dog sounds like an abomination.
Right?
Actually,
exactly. What's a healthy corn dog? And two, I'd probably make it with funnel cake, so it wouldn't be very healthy.
See, I would think like if you do like corn dogs, at least put some chili cheese on them. Like make some chili cheese corn dogs.
I didn't know how in depth.
Do a corn
dog
make an
abomination
inside of a funnel cake.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. That's good. I like that.
Corn dog inside of.
I'll tell you what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't put slaw on my sandwich. Blech,
corn
fries.
Cake.
Oh, you get out.
Whoa, out.
All right, guys. Fort's done. He's off the show.
We finish. So I love Permanis. They have great wings. I just don't like coleslaw.
Gotcha. Okay, we can let that slide.
Knock, like it's so rich history, right? Like those dudes used to work so hard, they got to throw all their stuff on their sandwich. It's kind of bad to the bone. Maybe that's what I would do. Just giant corn dog, throw everything on it. like a Chipotle of corn dogs. That's it.
I was thinking that. I figured
it,
Fort
right?
would pick like Rocky Mountain oysters or something.
Well,
Love it.
No, thank you, sir. No,
Well,
if I
here we
had
go.
to do,
we're gonna spin the wheel. So again, we're gonna find now. Fort, you are actually on this list, so like it could land on you. Hopefully not, because you already answered it. But we're gonna ask somebody this question, and it goes to John Nagowski.
whoa, yes, the big Nagowski.
We're gonna ask him what abomination he would create. Who wants to send the message?
I think I got it.
I'll do it.
All right. So there it is, everyone. So yeah, we're gonna ask John Nagowski what abomination of fast food. I mean, this might make him even more of a local legend.
Yeah, I feel it has to do. It has to be with mac and cheese and hot sauce. Just saying.
Okay.
We are batting 100. We're actually batting 1,000, asking people stupid questions and getting a response on air. We're doing this one kind of late though.
Yeah, this one's gonna be tough. It's
Nagowski's
a difficult question as well.
He's gonna be on it. I'm very confident we'll get another answer tonight on the show.
What do you think it'll be?
Oh no clue.
I don't know.
I
just asked.
It's gonna be called the Stroman, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, one bite. Nom nom.
It's gonna be a knuckle sandwich.
Yeah, just one bite though, because it's so little.
And it costs 69 cents.
100%.
Right.
So to your coleslaw point there, Fort. So when I was in college, I worked at this little diner type place. It was called the Lunch Pail. We were open for lunch. It was like 11 to 2 every day. And yeah, I actually invented a sandwich. It was called the Gymwich. It was called the Gymwich.
Well, what was on it? Let's go.
And it was turkey, hot pepper cheese, and coleslaw.
Okay, see, it's just the mayonnaise on the coleslaw. I don't like mayonnaise.
It was.
Sounds okay.
People
Right.
love. People love.
But you do like the Italian dressing coleslaw.
Yeah, I could do the Italian dressing coleslaw.
So you like
They look
cremini.
at you like you're nuts.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah, they're like, what? I'm like,
Cremini
sorry.
doesn't put mayo on it.
So the coleslaw
very
that we
vinegary.
had was the mayonnaise based coleslaw. So it was mayonnaise based coleslaw, hot pepper cheese, turkey, and the turkey was grilled turkey.
Oh, good call. Take that.
What kind of bread?
mayonnaise away would be good. Sourdough, of course.
It was on a bun,
Ooh. Nothing like some good gym buns.
Like a crusty
Yeah.
bun.
like a grilled bun. Yeah, a toasted bun.
Okay. Sesame seed or like any seeds on there? What we got?
The roll.
You know what? Bradenton, spring training. We need
And Jim, which is
I'll make Gymwiches in spring training. I'll do it.
Let's
All right.
go. I
Yeah.
want a hat on. I want a hat on. Maybe make them for the players.
Yeah, I'll bring them in.
Yeah.
and
Bring
then
the
we'll
week.
make whatever
No, we'll
John
bring a
Nagowski
grill in.
says.
We'll just
Just
like get you
Throw 'em on
going.
the grill.
Yeah, we'll get some music going and we'll
Yeah,
call
they've
out
got
numbers.
grills. They've got
and
grills
Jim will
at
be
the-
grilling up some lunch meat.
Yeah. Every dude that
Can we
comes
get
on
the
gets a,
NS9 stand?
Oh, it
and
wasn't.
recall?
It wasn't like lunch meat. Like it was like carved turkey. Like it was like real turkey.
oh, so you killed a turkey to do this. It wasn't
I
like
didn't kill the turkey.
Yes, you
Someone
did.
did. Yeah.
lunch meat. Got it. Not lunch meat. I'm digging
I
it.
love it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Hey, good segment. I like that segment.
Well, yeah. So we'll wait. Hopefully, John gets back to us on the show. But let's go ahead. We'll move on to the next thing. So yeah, like obviously you as a former catcher, we love picking your brain about catchers and whatnot. We've done over the years, and I feel like this year there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of who's going to be there. You've mentioned Joey Bart. I mean, we'll kind of like move on from Joey Bart because I think the people are most interested in is like the Henry Davis dynamic, the Endy Rodriguez dynamic. I mean, is he alive? Where does he fit? And you catching David Bednar, he was traded for Rafael Flores. We thought this year maybe they're looking at him like a backup catcher, first base type, but they've gone out and gotten what they got this offseason. Like that's not going to happen. So let's kind of talk about this catching situation. Like of the three, I guess maybe to start with Henry, right? He's always the biggest question. What do you see from Henry Davis this year? And can he take that next step to be, the hype of the number one prospect or number one draft pick?
Yeah, I think he's special when it comes to game management, game calling, and creating a rapport with his guys. When you're quantifying misses, you're doing some things that most guys don't even know to do. So I'm not just going to speak on what I've seen from Henry. I'm going to speak on what every dude's saying about Henry. They want to throw to him. 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 He's the guy. He's the guy. He's the guy. Like across the board. Not that that's a knock to Joey Bart, but when you hear your guys continually say, and that's from top to bottom, every dude I've talked to that's either left the Pirates or, still with the Pirates, they're all saying that. He has a knack that DeLay had, but he's got more ability. He's got more talent. He's got a better arm. I think his receiving is going to continue to get better. And I do think the bat is going to play differently. As long as he can lock in and just focus on being the servant leader and not worry about his swing, maybe make a couple adjustments, especially when it comes to his approach. I don't really care about his movements as much. But, yeah, I really like where we're at. I think he could be a guy that really surprises people this year. But he's got to get the chance.
What would you do approach-wise if you were Henry Davis and you had that swing?
So I would leave Louisville, first off, in the sense of like he's still chasing a swing that has worked all the way up through AAA. But I don't think he's paid enough attention of how much he's mishitting balls. So I'd back off the plate, and I would adapt to the day, very similar to how he does with the pitchers. So like if I'm facing a guy like a lefty who's going to pitch around the zone, maybe I'm going to go out of the zone and get it instead of waiting around, because he doesn't have a ton of swing and miss down in the zone for strikes. He has a ton of swing and miss at the top of the zone for strikes. But in the minor leagues, he didn't as much. So they're obviously attacking him different up there. And I think if he can hone in on the little things of each guy, what they're trying to do, and simplify it, I think he'll really do some special things. I think hitting to the situation, finding the wins every single day would be awesome. What is that? Is that a Louisville Cup?
Louisville Cup and hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think like we as players, and I deal with this a lot, we chase what was good instead of chasing who we are now. And you can use both. I think that's where me talking about Cutch is. He's chasing his best swing ever right now, but he has the ability to adapt with no stride, with a stride early. He has a bunch of ways to adapt based on getting hurt, playing so long. I think that's where Henry needs to go. It's like, yeah, you may have this swing for a week, but like take your base hit swing and go into batting practice, hit low line drives, no more balls in the air because you led the league in pop-ups. And that's not good, right? Pop-ups are easiest out ever. So it's just self-identifying, taking ownership in his own way, and not allowing, this is the biggest thing for me, anyone to tell him who he's going to be as a hitter. He has to decide that.
Does he not just barrel up every one of those pop-ups?
Every one of them.
All of them are barrels.
All of them are barrels.
It's crazy. I don't understand it. So yeah, to me, that tells me he's not that far.
He's not that far. And I think I always say hitting starts with an identity. Who do you want to be? I think he can be better than a backup catcher. Obviously, defensively, I think he is the number one guy. But I think even offensively, I think he could really prove some special things if he starts thinking about the line drive approach, hitting some hard line drives the other way, especially low, especially in batting practice. Because if you watch his batting practice, everything is in the air. And it's not that it doesn't play, but we played a terrible ballpark for right-handed hitter, get the ball to left field in the air. It just dies. So even when it's going good, subconsciously, you hit a ball good and it doesn't go, you try to do more.
It's funny you say that because in spring, I remember watching him during a session. They go oppo. He just could not do it.
He gets really happy with that top hand. So that's why I think backing off the plate and learning depth could really help him. And if he knows it's his job, I think he could focus on that in spring with their trajectory and with some games maybe in the backfield. I think that would change his world because he got popped that way. And I just don't think he utilizes that way. He loves to pull the ball, and I think pulling the ball is natural for him when he's taking the fastball that way. But he can't do it when he's on top of the plate. He comes in out of his zone too fast. Don't you guys see? You guys switched on me. It's weird.
Here. There we did it at the same time. All right. No, I mean, there's clearly something off with his approach and or swing, however you want to call it. He's dominated every level he's been at. Then he gets to the majors and he just can't do it. The pop-ups, like you mentioned, are insane. I don't think I've ever seen somebody pop up as much as he does. And like you said, Tyler, like it's not that he's necessarily late on the pitches or it's just he misses them. Like he's just swinging under him. I will push back a little bit because I feel like the success is still pulling the ball in the air.
100, but you can't chase it. Does that make sense?
I think he just got to. I mean, you just got to get better at it, right? Like if that's going to be your approach, you got to get better. Like if that's going to be who you are, you can't hit half of your balls 400 feet in the air.
So that goes back to. I completely agree with you. It's the identity side.
Yeah.
Like if he's going to hit 220 with 20 homers and he's going to pull most of his homers, I don't think anybody will be mad about it.
That's fine.
He's a guy that they have to allow him to do that, if that makes sense. Like he's not a guy that's going to come to that conclusion on his own unless he does, which would be really, really cool. I think he did that with his catching. He said, I got this. You guys can't teach me anything else. And he ran. And I think he's going to be better this year. I think if he does that with his hitting, he'll take off. Because like he does have to identify. He can't do it all. It's my theory of Jack Sawinski. Be somebody, but you got to decide who that somebody is. And until you do that, you'll be chasing things all the time. Like, because if you can't, Clint Hurdle said it the best all the time, self-identify where you're at right now and find the win you have right in front of you. And if you can do that, then you go 1 for 4, 0 for 3, and it keeps you afloat instead of going, like you guys said, missing the pop-ups because you're trying to pull a guy that you can look on the stats or expected stats, guy's not giving up pull homers. So what makes you convinced that this is the guy you need to try to pull homers? If you are, maybe try something a little different. It's not working the way you want it to. So that identity factor is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, he needs to figure out who he is because, he hasn't been the guy who we thought he was.
Correct.
Up to this point.
Literally the opposite.
But he hasn't really gotten the opportunity to fail yet. Even think about last year, right?
He's definitely had a lot of failing.
But he's been an outfielder. He wasn't a terrible.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, it's been a weird journey for him. And I think this is the opportunity where it's it's your turn. Figure it out. Or, we have people that could step in where he could fall back and be a great backup. But even an other catcher type. So you're kind of using them two different ways.
Yeah, I think he's carved out a role where he's a 100%. Major league catcher at this point. Mm-hmm. But
it'd be nice to see him hit 15.
You need him to be more than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a big part of them doing anything.
Yeah. At least we know his floor.
Right.
We know he's going to catch his brains out. We know he's going to call a good game. And I think that's the coolest part is when you start having that, I feel like that's when you start winning. When you have a bunch of dudes, what they can do at the worst. And I feel like we found that out a lot last year. I think it could really help because that's why nobody wants to bet on Jared Trillo because he had 1 year where he was a 2.9 WAR player, and then he had 2-3 months this past year where he was, on pace for a 2 WAR player. But is that the player he is? We know defensively he's this. He's going to be incredible defensively. So having a bunch of dudes that are predictable will give us a chance to win. It puts that WAR conversation that you were talking about earlier on kind of out of the mix in the sense of okay, we know what they're capable of at their worst. Can we be really, really good if nobody hits, right? But because you want everybody to hit, but if you can be really close, like the Dodgers, obviously, if everybody goes terrible, they're still better than everyone else.
Well, I think we saw last year that if nobody hits, they're not good.
Not unless they change something. We couldn't bunt either, by the way. We were one of the worst bunting teams.
They couldn't do much.
Not much fielding happened either.
Yeah, they were rough.
Okay. Yeah.
They can pitch.
Yeah, they can pitch.
But you mentioned if Henry Davis can just get to even being a 90 weighted runs, it's almost like the Ke'Bryan Hayes talk all over again. And this is where I think I'm having PTSD because year.
But I will say, this, Jim. The fact is, Henry Davis put up numbers like Ke'Bryan never touched in the minor leagues.
No, that's accurate.
So there's a chance that if he gets an opportunity and he identifies who he is, because I'm telling you right now, everybody's going to hate Ke'Bryan Hayes this year. He's going to put up some numbers where where has this been? Because he has freedom. You could see it in his post.
I'm going to stand that for 5 years. I'm not buying that yet. But
he got out of the uniform. He already ticked up.
I just believe it because he's not a Pirate anymore. That's the only reason why I believe it.
Correct. So they're like, what do you need? How are we going to make you better? And he's going to lead the way for the first time in a long time. No, not only nobody has any voice over him. He's not hearing. He's got to hit the ball. They got him for one reason: to play really good defense and hit enough. And he's going to hit 20 homers next year, is my guess.
I don't know if I buy that, but comparing the two of them, the only place I disagree, though, like to help Jim out, maybe feel better, Davis being a catcher to me does matter a lot more. Like Brian Hayes not hitting at third base, that's a problem. If Davis doesn't hit or maintains this level, it's not good. But like he still carves out a pretty capable role on a major league team.
100%.
Brian Hayes, you're always going to be begging for more at the plate because just the position asks for it.
Yeah, like it made sense what they did with Trillo last year, right? Like take money off the books. Very adequate defender. Yeah, similar guy. I think Trillo has better bats.
You just said that Brian Hayes is going to hit 20 home runs, and now Jared Trillo has better at bats. What are we doing for it?
He is. I think Jared Trillo would hit.
I think I'd agree with you
in Cincinnati.
Yeah, Hayes at times just like looks like he gets out of whack a lot.
Yeah,
and Trillo, you don't really see that as often, but yeah, I mean, I'm always one of those guys where like I'm gonna bet on the skill set, I'm gonna bet on the makeup, and Davis has that.
Yep.
So like you just gotta hope that it eventually happens, and like catchers have so much to deal with that they're just always going to develop slower than everybody else typically, unless you're just like an instant Hall of Famer right off the bat. So I don't know. I haven't given up hope. He's basically got a full year under his belt at this point. Like if you look at his plate appearances. And so like, would you give up on your first overall pick after, one full year of baseball just because it wasn't very good? Probably not. Right. And so I'm not quite there yet.
After you made him play right field for half of it.
Right.
After telling him you can't do what you've been doing your whole life for, 2 months.
Yeah.
So again, good stuff on Davis. And I think, of course, he'll have a big part of this year. But there's still Endy Rodriguez. And I mean, we were looking rewind a few years ago. It was Endy. It was Endy, right? Because Henry Davis and Endy Rodriguez are going to be the two backstops. There's some position flexibility. Like, what a weapon those two can be. And, we just talked about Henry Davis. Like, can he even be more than a backup catcher? And now it's Endy Rodriguez who, and like, this isn't a slight to them, but I think this puts in good perspective. The number changed today. Endy changed his number. We put out a graphic to show that. And I can't tell you how many people in the comments for it were saying, I didn't know he was still a Pirate. For one, I thought he was on another team, or did they not release him? There's so many people just like, I didn't know Endy was still a Pirate. That kind of shows you like where he stands right now in this organization. So is there still belief that Endy Rodriguez can still carve out a spot on this team for this year or in the future?
Yeah. I mean, I still think about the Braves tandem with d'Arnaud and what's the other guy that's still there?
Murphy.
Yeah. That's what I see with Henry and Endy. They both complement each other really well. Henry's military, mindset, but he's kind of overcome being too hard. But Endy brings that enthusiasm that you honestly need behind the plate some. So I think if they can balance Endy's workload, I think he'll probably end up in AAA. It's probably a certainty. But man, like, there's no reason to believe he can't be as good as Henry or better when it comes to talent-wise. And he's also put up really weird numbers in 2023. You just can't not look at that and say, where did that guy go? I have a bunch of thoughts and theories on it. If you want me to walk through it, I will. But this guy, did everything the organization asked, and it has not gone his way. I think them trading Oviedo, I think he's going to be mad. I think the number shift changes the identity and who he is, because just putting on a different number, different everything helps with that affirmation of who you want to be. So I think all of it's going to play out, and he may be the guy that's like, holy crap, where did this guy come from? Because he does things like he hits pop-ups at 94 miles an hour. The only other person that does that on our team is O'Neal Cruz. Like, he does things that like are very, very special. And I remember the first time I saw him play, I was like, this guy's going to be really, really good. But, I know for a fact he's been playing hurt. It's very difficult to play hurt. It sucks. And I think if he comes in healthy, he comes in with an idea of, okay, I could play some first base. I could play some second base, maybe even some outfield. I've been adequate, if not above average, at all these positions, and I'm going to catch. What he can do for your roster just changes everything because he's also a switch hitter.
Well, let's actually go that route a little bit because, like, we know the skill set of Endy, but I think what most people are putting the doom and gloom glasses on with him is because, like you said, the health. And I mean, again, you're a catching expert, also our outpatient expert. So, like, what do you think? Like, what impact does that have? Right. But like, what impact does that have on him, especially at the catcher position with those type of surgeries? I mean, a lot of people are looking at him like, is he cooked?
No, I think so. There's a lot of issues right now with Tommy Johns. And I think there's a lot of question marks, position players and catchers when they come back, how fast, and especially switch hitters, because you're putting a lot of stress on that arm constantly. And I don't think that the workload is high enough. So when he came in, and I believe it's, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, 24, they're like, you're going to catch all the time. Isn't that right? 24?
Yep.
Right? Well, his offensive numbers fell down. I'm going to tell you why that happened. This is not just me. So you get into your legs the whole time. And
what would have been 23?
23.
23.
The 22, he put up those giant
year.
numbers. Okay. 22 giant numbers, but he played everywhere. So he got to get out of that crouch, got to not think about anything but hit, make good plays. And that athleticism showed all the time. So different throwing angles, got to lengthen his arm in the outfield. Well, once he went behind the plate, you shorten everything up. And he was doing it all the time. He'd never done that. So he caught more bullpens than he ever caught. He spent more time with pitchers than he ever had. And he's trying to learn how to be a number one guy in the big leagues in AAA, which is impossible because you have to get there to figure it out. So you got all these things happen, but they lost the fact that he was a really good second baseman. He was a really good first baseman. He was a really good outfielder. And that's what made him get out of his legs and kind of work uphill all year long because he was always in that crouch. And you start to hinge and you lose your ability to move properly. And he fought that all year long. And Andy Haynes saw it. I saw it. Scout saw it. And there's not really much you can do about it. You just have to live and learn. And then towards the end of that year in 23, he started to put together in the big leagues. And then in 24, he obviously got hurt. But I just think it's a buildup of trying to go all in on something. So he's throwing more than he ever has, throwing the bases more than he ever has, doing all these things he's never done. I don't think his body was ready for it because he was still growing. Now he's a man. Now he's learned from what he's gone through. And I really feel like if the arm holds up, he's going to be somebody we're talking about as like, this guy was a big part of our team because everyone loves him. He makes your team better by just showing up. He's the guy you need on the bench that keeps it light when you're losing the 5th game in a row. But I do think he's going to have an edge that we've never seen because I do think losing Oviedo was his edge guy. I think now that he's gone, I think he's going to pick up the edge. And I think all the guys are going to want to throw to him. So it's going to be really interesting in spring watching this all unfold.
I'll say this, and you bring up a good point because, when Endy was a very highly touted prospect, he was kind of bouncing around. He was a catcher. He was a first. He was a second. He was in left field. He played first catcher, left field. He was just kind of all over the place, right? It was a super utility guy, and he was hitting the ball. And then, they're like, okay, you're going to be a catcher. Has that like course sailed? Like, can he go back to? Is that possible to go back to, or is he a catcher now, and that's who he's going to be? And you just gotta make of it what it is, because this team could probably use a guy who could play corner outfield every now and then, could play catcher if you needed him to. Like, his skill set fits a need on this team if he can hit. Like, I mean, he's got to hit, but being able to do all of those other things is valuable. Is it possible to just go back to that?
I think so. I think that's why he'll start in AAA. I think we're going to be heavy at catcher at AAA. And I think even in the big leagues, if he's on the team, think about the value he brings for Bart. Bart was probably, outside of Cutch, our second best pinch hitter. So late in games, you can utilize him, and then you're actually bringing in, instead of Bart, you're bringing in Endy to catch, right? So I like the idea of having dudes. I wouldn't even mind in a pinch having Henry Davis have to play right field every now and then. And the reason being is not that he needs to do it or that we want him to do it, but if he just has the ability to go out there and feel okay about it, you're lengthening every opportunity for all these guys to get the right at bats, because that's ultimately what we're asking for, right? And we had a shutdown bullpen. So like you're talking about going out to right field and just don't do anything stupid, right? Because we're hoping our bullpen's going to be lights out. And if we have a perfect situation, runner on second base, one out, we know we have a high contact guy and so that can pinch hit, but he's playing right field or he's on the bench. We know that we can move around and shake things up. And I think that's really important because it makes a small market team that much better. I mean, look at Max Muncy, Mookie Betts, all these dudes that have been willing to move based on what the team needed. I mean, I think Mookie's entire offensive, life fell apart because he had to go to the infield because nobody understands the wear and tear that has. I think the same thing with O'Neal Cruz. I think now that he has a year under his belt and he understands how much he's running, he's going to be different, or he should be different.
Yeah, I agree with you on the moving around stuff. The part though, and I agree with Jim on this too. You got to hit to be able to do it. Like the guys with the Dodgers, all those guys hit.
Yeah, but they get every day at bats, and that's the thing.
But it's easy to give them every day at bats because
correct. So that's why it may be smart with Endy. We've kind of forced him into the big leagues the last 2 years. Now let him go to AAA, get comfortable, moving around.
Year for sure.
Yeah,
last year was a mess with him.
Yeah, he didn't take a ground ball at first base, and he's starting to opening day at first base. That's not easy. It's a lot, but I think he's adequate. I think he's really athletic, and I think it'll be good for him. So then, when we need to, we can move guys, we can upgrade. We know we have someone that can fill in. So, kind of my thought. He's a big question mark. I think you guys feel the same way. Like, I think it's good that people are forgetting about him, but he's a guy that scares me if he gets another opportunity.
Well, then let's move on to Rafael Flores. So he comes over in the trade, and I feel the talk about him is it's almost like Henry Davis is at some level. Like, can he catch? Is he that good of a catcher? Henry Davis obviously is now, but back in the day, that was like Henry's question. So for one, what do you see out of him at the catcher position? Is he going to stick? How well? And then two, I guess, like where's his role on this team? Is 2026 in his guard?
Yeah, I think he's the first guy called up. I think when you took Joey Bart to arbitration, you said that he needs more work because in essence, he's a very similar player. Like good arm, but not good release time. I think he cares. He shows that he cares differently. I know Joey Bart really cares. But I do think he needs that time. I do think he's really smart. The way he calls the game, the way he approaches the bats. But if he's going to be, we saw early on, right? Last year, first couple of games he played, smashed the ball, sat for a couple of days. Then he looked a little bit off, right? The rhythm was gone. And he wasn't able to capitalize like he was early on because he's never not played every day. So whatever role they have him in, I think he's going to catch a ton in AAA to start the year. He'll be the first guy called up if Indy's not kind of balling out. But yeah, he's a big dude that I think is ultimately profiling as a first baseman, but a line drive hitting first baseman that has, gap to gap pop. I think he's going to show home run pop, but I don't think it's going to be consistent unless, it all comes together and he gets those at bats. But if I had to pick one dude that could eventually be the DH for us after Cutch leaves, it's him. Just the way he approaches the bats. I think he's a slow heartbeat guy. He doesn't overthink it. It's really hard to DH in the big leagues because you have too much time on your hands. So how do you get away from it? And I think he would do a good job with it.
I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't think he can hit.
So I don't.
I don't think he can hit.
Explain why, and I understand that concept too.
Yeah.
It's a very long swing, but he understands it's a long swing. So
his in zone contact rate is atrocious.
It's because he has a really long swing.
He swings and misses a lot. He doesn't have a ton of playing time in AAA, but if you look at his kind of underlying swing metrics, he's essentially a worse right-handed version of Jack Swinsky. Is kind of what the bars tell you, right?
Without the bat speed.
And so it's like, how does this guy fit in a major league lineup. And I think the only way, like the DH thing, like I said, I hope I'm way wrong here, but I think the only way Rafael Flores Jr. is a successful major league player is if he can catch. And if he can catch, then I think the hitting's good enough that he can at least do that. And we haven't really seen him a lot of catcher. He played one game at catcher last year in the majors.
Yeah.
So
I don't know as a backup. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It changes everything for me. Like I'm saying the only success I see him having right now, and that could change immediately in spring, is he's got to get everyday at bats. Because if he doesn't, that long swing, the first thing they want to do is shorten everything up and get you to be contacty. We saw that with Peguero, Bay, Sawinski, and then they go down AAA. They rake because they're back to playing every day, and they come up. They're bench players. They're trying to make contact, and just like you have to have that freedom to fail. And if he gets that behind the plate and at the plate, I think from his makeup we could see something cool. But I don't know if he's going to get it.
Yeah. And to the kind of your point there, like this team has to win this year. Can you I don't think you can afford to give people the freedom to fail. Like you need good players who can hit right now on this team. Like I don't want to give Rafael Flores Jr. 300 bats just to see if he's any good. Like if I'm giving Flores 300 bats, like he better be.
They don't have 300 at bats to give him to find out if he's good at all.
And so
and Sherrington doesn't have that.
And this is kind of where I struggle with a lot of players on this team. It's like I think this guy might have something, but it's like I don't really want to find out.
We don't have to,
you know,
which is a good thing. Like he's got 2 options left.
I mean, they all have options. But AAA also is not the majors, and especially right now, like there's never been a wider gap between the two. I'm at the point now where like I don't really care what the dude's doing in AAA because every guy that we've called up from AAA who's been mashing can't do anything in the majors. So it's
we can see this, right?
Yeah, that's true.
If that plays, it'll give him some time.
That's a good point. So you can see if he can catch.
Because those numbers stick out like a sore thumb, and they don't have as big of a jump. Like a lot of times sometimes they even get better in the big leagues. So I believe we'll be able to see that. And then if he can have a similar year offensively, then maybe he's a part of a conversation going into the next year about being a platoon bat. Cause you got to give him at bats, like big, long swings. They have to have at bats.
Yeah.
It's like, no Cruz playing every day is always going to be the greatest gift. Cause he needs to get that body in motion and moving. Cause it's hard to put it all together. It's so hard.
Yeah. I mean, there are things to like about him, and there's things to like about Endy.
Yeah.
I think right now you just got to roll with Davis and Bart, though.
I think they literally threw that out loud. Like, this is what we're doing.
Okay.
I don't think they really have a choice.
Yeah, it's just tough seeing I mean, that's a lot of money if he's a backup. We were complaining about Hedges at $5 million.
Yeah. I could see them doing like a 50-50 split.
Yeah. Maybe. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. Yeah. Like I said, it's going to be really, really interesting, especially if Henry shows out. Because he doesn't want a day off ever.
Right.
Yeah. He would do a doubleheader every day.
Yeah. And the Alfonso, too, that guy can catch. That kid can catch. So he's a guy that I don't know about his pitch calling ability, but just the catch and throw, the blocking, the tempo was really fun to watch last year. So they have depth there. And then there's always dudes you can go out and get that have been around. I love going out and signing veterans. Saw what Tyler Heineman did last year with the Blue Jays. Having dudes like that matter. So if they can go out and get one of those guys, what's the kid we had last year that came up and did well for us? He was one of the best receivers on our team, short stint. Can't think of his name.
Sullivan,
yeah.
Yeah.
So having dudes like that, just, taking the one game a week down in the AAA.
Sorry for them the rules. We got to cut you off. The text is in. John Nagowski has an answer.
Oh, let's go.
At 1,000. So once again, the question: if you were head of product development at a major fast food chain, what food abomination would you create? John Nagowski's answer: General Tso's chicken from Panda Express, and a KFC mashed potato bowl.
Wow.
I love that.
I do love that.
That's a
love
bold
that.
option. Yeah. I feel like
that.
only someone from the South could come up with that. Right?
So
That's
there you have it. That
love
is
it.
an abomination for sure.
That's an
But-
abomination.
So would you do the gravy with it?
I might.
Or do you do the Tauso sauce?
I
Right.
think you do the.
I don't-
I think you do the General Tso's sauce.
Yeah.
General Tso, yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
That actually sounds
a mashed
outstanding.
potatoes.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I feel
You're
really fat
basically
saying
just
that. But yeah.
substituting rice with mashed potatoes.
Right.
Yeah.
And a little cheese.
So both those things also can be found in Bradenton. So we have to have the combo of the Jim Witch and I'm still calling it the Stroman.
That works.
Yeah. Yeah. I like
He
it.
also said he'd be 300 pounds if that existed.
We're gonna make it exist.
dude. Yeah, we're gonna make it exist. I like that. That's good. It's good.
He put a lot
So-
of thought into that too.
So
Mm-hmm.
to cut you off on the Rafael Flores talk,
As
yeah.
you were saying.
No,
Yeah,
I think
the
I think
secondary stuff of the show, whatever you were talking about.
yeah. No, I think you guys are nailing it. I mean, it's gonna be we have more depth than we ever had. I think even the Jack Sawinski signing, I think it's Presley brought up a really good point. In Houston in 18, was it 18? No, not 18. 15. He got $1 million plus, and they sent him to AAA. And the reason why you do that is you know what you're getting when he comes up, at least defensively. And if he gets hot, he could carry you too. So it's like I think they think that if he doesn't make the team out of camp, which I think it's going to be a tough road for him unless they give him every day at bats, he can go to AAA. Probably teams will pass on him, and you're going to sign him, because he's not going to say no. I don't want $1.5 million. So I think they're doing that. That's something Ben Sherrington said when he first came over. He would start doing when he felt like they were ready to win. He would spend more money in AAA and get more adequate players to come up. So you're not having a dude that's getting a cup of coffee for the first time trying to fill in as a defensive replacement in the 8th inning. You have an actual dude that's done it over and over again. So,
Well, I think that's why they still have to acquire about 3 more bats because, like I said, right now the depth is there, but it's not like people I'm super comfortable with. Like if an outfielder gets hurt, like Billy Cook's on this team.
Mhm.
I don't want Billy Cook on this team. Sorry, Billy. I'm sure you're a great guy, but I don't want you on this team right now.
We're not getting our stupid question answered by Billy Cook.
yeah, I mean, that's why I love a Palacios, man. Like you know what you're getting. Like I think Billy Cook could have a good career as a 4th or 5th outfielder.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
they just haven't used him like that yet. But like Palacios, dude, like he was an Energizer Bunny, dude. And I feel like we always were winning when he was up. So just getting guys that fit like that, I think is really important. So I'm with you, whether it's bats or personalities or a mixture of both. I think just having that charge when they come up where they don't need anything, like they're not getting babied. They're just going out there to play.
Yeah, you
Just
don't
go
have
out
to
there
protect them. You don't have to protect their
Exactly.
mindset.
That's a question I want to ask you guys, pitching wise. How do they not go into the season? I mean, you can look at Jared Jones. He'll be back in June at best. I don't care what anybody says. If he's back before that, they're going to really have to protect him. Ashcraft, all these dudes have not thrown 128 innings, let alone 150, 180 that's going to take to get in the playoffs. How do they balance that out? I mean, obviously we talked about they need to sign some guys, but do they do the swing thing again? Like, what do they do there?
I'll just
I
say
think they
this personally.
both.
I
Yes.
love the swing thing.
I do too, as long as they don't go back and
just-
forth. Back and forth hurts me because I know how hard that has to be. That makes sense. Like, you can jump into the starting rotation every now and then, but like if Bubba Chandler's a starter and he goes to the bullpen and then back to
Well,
starting,
I think it's
really
designed for
tough.
like Bubba is not part of that.
correct. I agree.
Like he's not. But like I love like Majinski has that role. I love keep Majinski where he's at. Don't
Yep.
put him back in the rotation. Keep him there. And like I said this last year, and I still kind of believe it. Like I think he and Barco together, like in that role, I think would just make a lot of sense. The problem is you need arms in the rotation. Barco's in the rotation at some point, but ideally, I think it's been such a weapon for them, and I think they could continue to utilize it, and that can help them this year with the innings issue and arms issue.
Yeah, those are my two guys I would say too. And Noah Barco was pitching at about 80% last year at the end. He had a fracture in his shin. I don't know if anybody knew that, but he's throwing 94. Knowing he's going to throw 97, 98 when he's healthy is a big deal. So, yeah, that'll be I think
they need to sign like an innings eater.
Yeah, me too.
Like they do need this. They do need that one guy. I hate the whole piggybacking swing thing. It's just not the way baseball, back in my day, right?
Oh, a purist.
I'm with you.
But it's the way baseball has gone to. So it works. It works for the right guys. There are certain people like Carmen Majinski who, I don't want him facing a lineup 3 times, and he's perfect for a 2 to 3 inning outing every 3 days. Like that by itself is super valuable to a team. So it's worked for him. I think they'll continue to do that, but I do think they need one arm who you can kind of count on. This guy's going to give me 150 innings.
Agreed completely. I wouldn't even mind if they signed somebody that is coming off an injury that can kind of come in mid-season. But we'll see.
I don't know if I want 2 of those with Jared Jones as well.
Yeah, and I understand.
You kind of need to get the innings early in the year
first.
Jared Jones, in my opinion, will be the guy that he'll either throw kind of like Ohtani did, where it's like he's throwing one, somebody's going to piggyback him, or he's literally going to come out of the bullpen right out of the gate. And if I ever told you what I'd love to do with Jared Jones, go to him, make him a closer, sign him to a 5-6 year deal.
I think he's too good.
Yeah, I think he's too good.
It doesn't mean you can't move him. Yeah. Doesn't mean you can't move him.
Yeah.
But it's saying we believe in you. This is where you fit now for our team. And we're going to protect you. And then once we get this biomechanical stuff, fixed, I really believe maybe we can get back in the rotation. But it simplifies everything for him because I hate the fact that he's trying to develop another breaking pitch and he's trying to get a sinker and all this stuff. He's going to be doing that off of Tommy John. I want him to just come in and throw fuzz. Don't think, bro. Yeah. Just let it eat.
And I think bullpen makes sense for him this year. Yeah.
He's got that personality too.
Yeah.
And then he could hop right back in. Yeah. So I heard a rumor about a guy that was in our bullpen that could be starting next year in the big leagues, Colin Holderman. How about that?
Good luck to whoever does.
Is that the big Cameron Maben news?
Yeah. If Cleveland wants to go ahead and do that, go ahead.
He made some big adjustments towards the end. He pitched a lot better. We all know that. And it cleaned up some pitches. He became a 5-pitch guy, and they're all average or above average. But if he uses his pitches right, why not? I just don't know if he can stay healthy. But I hope the best for guys like that because he's a good dude.
I'll root for him, but I can't see that.
I hope the best for Colin Holderman.
He had talent.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Oh yeah.
Real quick though, just to touch on the rest of that pitching situation, I think that's why it's so important that they've kept Mitch Keller as well. Not getting rid of him, having those innings from Mitch is huge. On the flip side of it, the piggybacking stuff, I'm with Jim. I absolutely hate it. I understand the value of it, and we saw it work last year. Problem with it, I think this year is you traded Oviedo, you traded Burrows. I don't know if you have the horses to do that, really.
Agreed. And two, why the Oviedo thing hurt me is Valdez is a better version of what we got from Boston, first off. And then second, we lost a guy that has a proven year in the big leagues. That will be under, but you have a guy under contract. When you have a guy under contract, we saw what the Dodgers did, right? All those dudes threw more than they should have in the postseason because they're chasing a championship and they're going to make money. When you have a guy on a league friendly deal or he's not signed to a 2-year deal, he has no grace to go in and put himself in harm's way. So everybody in his circle, as much as he would want to do it, it's going to say, don't do it. So that's the difference of having Oviedos and Kellers and even a Paul Skeens. He's going to dictate whatever he wants to do. But if you sign them and they're there for multiple years, they'll play hurt. They'll do things that a lot of guys won't do. And that's the advantage of having Oviedo who's going through arbitration. Second-year arbitration, could have easily said, how are you? He'd be like, I'm good. I'm going back out. Or you're just going to shut down Barco, you're just going to shut down Ashcraft. You're just going to shut down Bubba Chandler because you're trying to protect their future too. But they're also trying to do the same thing, which sucks.
And like, not to make this more of a discussion and deep in this, but like to Tyler's point, that's why I do like the piggybacking more.
Yeah.
Like you say, you don't have the horses, and I agree. Like, you're going to worry about Ashcraft's innings and such. And like, so you're probably limiting like 5 innings this year. So he goes out 5,
guys to do that,
and then you bring in someone else, and that's the way you can stretch them out. Because if they're going to be in the playoffs, you need Braxton Ashcraft. Like, you need these guys there. How do you stretch out their innings to go into the playoffs? And that's why I think this is a perfect way of doing it right now. And Hunter Barco is one of those too. Like, you got to worry about his innings. So maybe you do so by, like, Kormazinski last year had 99 innings pitched. Like, you probably keep him around 100 innings in the bullpen per se. Like, that's why I think this works for this team this year. You have talented pitchers that you're worrying about innings. So 5 and done. Bring in the new guy. And that kind of protects the starter, right? Like we saw how it helped out that last year. And then again, you're bringing these guys that like Carmen is coming in, doing that role. You make eight innings stretch out now by 2 really good pitchers, and you shut them down by your number 4 and 5 starter.
Yeah. I mean, if it works out well, it's
and that's the thing. Right. So when it doesn't, Tyler can gloat and I look like an idiot. And that's fine. But that is why I do like it for them this year.
Like, what I'm getting here, I don't see guys that can go give you 3 innings. That's what I don't see. Like, I see guys that can give you 1, and I see guys that can maybe give you 5 at the top of the rotation. I don't see there's not 4 Braxton Ashcrafts here. Bubba Chandler's not being treated like that this year. You got Majinski,
Barco. Yeah.
I think that's a good piggyback situation there. I don't want to lengthen that anymore after that. I don't really want Ashcraft doing it, to be honest with you. I don't. I want to let Ashcraft pitch. I understand wanting to limit his innings. I get it. I don't want to piggyback him. I'd rather just pull him a touch early.
Yeah, as long as it's not predetermined, because those stress innings are so different. When you're having to fight and you have a 28 pitch inning, even though you put up that 0, it's different than when you had a 7 pitch inning, even if they had bullets.
I hate watching it.
I know. It's tough, but it was really intelligent for them to try it, and it worked. So they're going to try it again.
Yeah, they have the arms to do it, and it makes sense for them to do it. And they're going to do it. We just got to deal with it, Tyler.
And
do you think they have the arms to do it beyond what I'm saying, though, with like the Majinski and the Barco? Do you see them doing it further?
I think
I don't know who else. I don't know who else to go with Ashcraft.
I mean, you got to think if Ashcraft is healthy the entire year and he's just pitching 5 innings per start, that's 150 innings. That would be a huge jump for him. So like he's probably going to be around the 130 mark, which means he's getting more 4 inning outings than he is 5 inning outings.
Yeah, that's where you could argue that a 2-year, $23 million deal for Nick Martinez would make sense because he's a guy that could fill in as a starter and a reliever.
Yeah.
So like maybe that's what you do. You go out and kind of fiddle with that, or you have a guy like a AAA guy. What's the kid's name that made the start last year that he had a really tough go, but he was a top 100 prospect? Harrington. Like you go into the season saying Harrington's your swing guy, revolving door, and knowing that like, all right, hopefully he gets back to who he could be, but then at least he knows his role. He knows where he fits. But I think he would play up out of the bullpen.
I guess it's
pretty quickly.
Yeah, I forgot.
His stuff's played every year except last year.
Right.
And when you know the whole story, the guy didn't throw for 10 days. He gets his debut after going to Indianapolis. His stuff's stuck there. He has to get it. There's a lot more to the game when you're making your debut. And this guy is the nicest guy in the world, probably overcoachable, and thought it was just going to be, that great day, right? Didn't shake off at all through the game that was presented to him instead of the game he wanted to throw. And I think all that is a chance for him to grow from. And I think with Paul Skeens around, those guys that have that killer instinct, if they can help him find it, I think it'll really, really help him because he's got good stuff. And he's got feel. I think I've said it over and over again. He's Mitch Keller if we give him enough time. I really believe that.
And then this is kind of just, I know we've been talking for a while here, but I think they need a left-handed starting pitcher. And I think they need somebody who can like eat innings. And I hate that I'm saying this name just because I've trashed on this guy for years now. But like Patrick Corbin.
I agree. Swing guy. Another swing guy.
Like the dude's gonna the dude pitches over 150 innings every single year. He's gone like the last 4 years, not counting COVID, 155, 174, 180, 152, 171. Last year was like a pretty decent season for him. I don't know, like you could probably get Patrick Corbin for $5 or $6 million and throw him in the back of your rotations, the lefty arm, which means he's going to play up a little bit at your home ballpark. He's a veteran. He knows what he's going to do. And you can like just count on to just give him the ball every fifth day. And he's probably not going to wow anybody. He's going to give you 6 innings, 3 runs every single time. It's going to be, just kind of that. But I feel like that's a valuable arm for like a team like this.
Yeah. What if he would be willing to take that swing role? Because didn't he throw some out of the bullpen towards the end of your last year? He was really, really good.
He threw no. He was a starter the whole time.
He just had a really good last couple of months.
Like I want someone who can give me 150 plus innings.
Yeah,
like,
I'm with you.
We don't want to do piggyback games for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
we're trying to avoid those.
Yeah. I mean, Scherzer.
And if Patrick Corbin's your 5th starter, like that's not that bad.
But if we're gonna swing for it, let's go get Scherzer, right?
I mean, Scherzer's going to sign a 1-year, $18 million deal.
He's already making 45.
Some people pay him.
So make 63.
Maybe not.
Touche.
Like, I feel like Scherzer's going to get a big 1-year deal.
I think you could present it to him of what's at his fingertips in the sense of Paul Skeens, that young staff.
72 win team.
I think he's the perfect Pirate. He's a psychopath. We need a psychopath. I think he would be perfect. So you say, hey, we'll give you $8 million with incentives. Come play for us. Why not?
I'm not entirely sure Max Scherzer is better than Patrick Corbin right now. 41-year-old Max Scherzer.
It's Max Scherzer though. It's just if he's your 5,
who hasn't pitched more than 85 innings in a season for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's
tough. Yeah. You get into that.
Old.
Yeah.
If at worst, though, if it's the Tyler mold, he'll be pitching early on in the season.
Yeah.
And when he gets injured, then Jared Jones comes in.
Correct.
There we go.
At the very worst.
Yeah. There you go.
You know what? Then we can piggyback.
You can't keep
We
changing
can piggyback with Jared Jones. That's fine. I can get that. I can get down with that.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's guys out there that are available that they could go fiddle with. I mean, if they wanted to get really weird, they could sign what's the kid from Houston just on a high 1 year with an opt-out. I don't want him. I don't think he's good for our team. But yeah, I mean, there's rich history there with the pitching coach.
I don't think
nobody's wanting him. Yeah.
I don't think anybody. You think we're gonna give him like a 1 year, $30 million deal?
No. But you know who is available on the trade block? Sandy Alcantara. 1-2 punch there.
Maybe.
We got enough to give them. And
He
they
also
have pitching.
sucked last year.
Yeah,
He was also terrible.
But I think he was really good towards
It was his first year back from Tommy John.
Yeah, I think he's going to be good. Yeah.
It's still kind of an unknown.
Yeah.
But just theoretically, just think about Paul Skeens 99-100.
Oh yeah.
Alcantara 99-100. Bubba 99-100. Fastball changeup combos. Oh. They'll be talking about our
like your Rick Kenzie Gore thing.
Yeah.
I just think they need a guy. Like they don't need a dude. They just need a guy. They just like the rotation just needs they need a warm body out there who can throw 150 innings. That's what they need. Like,
I'm not opposed to that. I just would love to see a bigger splash just because it would feel good.
I would rather make a bigger splash and sign
offensively.
Yeah.
Nah, not Suarez.
Again, Tyler Anderson or Quintana, and let's just call it a day on the pitching stuff.
I'd love either one.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys put left
the
field.
money elsewhere.
That's fine.
I agree.
Yeah.
What are you guys thinking about in left?
I think Mangum's your guy for now.
I agree.
But I'd like to get another right-handed hitter.
I like him.
Yeah,
I like the addition. Good defensively. I mean, he can play any outfield position, which helps.
Yeah, and he becomes a true fourth outfielder, which we have not locked in on.
Right. Yeah. And like I just think he raises the floor. Like he's not like this. He raises the ceiling on this team, but he raises the floor. And I just think he also, for this lineup, I think he's the perfect number 9 hitter. That's the way I look at him too. It's almost like with IKF last year when IKF was performing like the first 3 weeks, but like he makes contact. He doesn't strike out. He makes contact. He swings at everything essentially, but he makes contact. He puts the ball in play,
he can run,
steals some bases personally too. Like, and I don't know how this is going to be, but I really hope he turns it around. I would love O'Neal Cruz back at the number 1 leading off. And I think like if Mangum was ahead of him and Cruz, like, and then you line up like that could really be a spark plug for this team.
So I'm going to throw something out. Whichever one of you guys diagonally want to answer this. If Connor Griffin doesn't make our team out of camp, would you ever think about putting O'Neal Cruz at shortstop to start season?
No.
I don't think you can.
All right. Now put it in perspective on how much better that makes our team lineup-wise.
Well, it does. That's why I should never move. But
I was just saying, say this is yours.
F with him again.
I don't think you can move him again.
Yeah.
I
think
that's my thing.
Put the toothpick
do you do that again to him?
I think you go to him and ask him, "Do you want one more shot?" And if you don't figure it out,
and then
this kid's coming. You're going back to center.
Yeah, I mean, you're going back to center no matter what.
Yeah.
Or I mean, to me, like I thought Griffin was going to be a center fielder in the big leagues. He's obviously not. But like, yeah, I think that kind of says you get your shot. Show us what you got. Because right now that would make our team better because you could put Mangum in center to start the year. So defensively,
the problem Mangum's got
to hit.
That's what I don't buy into yet.
Yeah, I would be fine with Nick Gonzalez or Nick York in left field.
So really what you're saying,
yeah,
honestly, because here's how I look at it. Well, I guess never mind. Who's third field? Who's third base? Third field. Who's third base in this scenario?
I think it's going to be a fight between Triolo and Nick Gonzalez.
Because
I think Nick York's going to get at bats in left, first, and third.
Yeah, because I guess the way I'm looking at it is, I'd rather have Triolo at shortstop in the meantime.
That's who's my starting shortstop right now.
Right. Like I'd rather keep Cruz in center, Triolo's at short.
Nick Gonzalez at third.
Your left field situation opposed to moving Cruz, Mangum, and then having Nick Gonzalez at left field. Like, I just think that's no.
So can I tell you my other O'Neal Cruz thought?
Sure.
Left field.
I don't hate that. I don't think they're going to do it, but I don't hate it.
I think his arm plays differently out there in left.
He might read the ball a little better too.
Yeah, I think so. And then he doesn't have to worry about the communication side. Yeah. That just kind of puts a stiff hold on Magnum is going to be your guy in center.
I just don't know if he's going to hit enough to really be able to hold down an outfield spot for a period.
Or it could be him. It could be him and Jack Sawinski platooning.
Or it could be Password.
How does Password make the team over Valdez?
Which Valdez?
The kid that won the
with the N or the M in his first game.
The dude's hit 20 homers every single year. He hit like 28 this year.
Yeah.
He's the only right-handed hitter. You know
I'm good on letting him.
I think they're both going to start in AAA. Password's going to be in AAA.
Yeah.
Both of them.
But he could be up quick.
Yeah, they both could.
As of now, Password's your fourth outfielder.
Actually.
No, Jack Sawinski's your fourth outfielder.
It'll be Billy Cook.
That's even worse. Or you're killing me. If I hear Jack Sawinski's name one more time.
But Password, you got to give Password at bats, right? So would you rather give them to Nick York?
I guess.
I don't think. Well, I don't think Password should be in the majors. This is what I think you need to sign an outfield. You need to go out there and get an outfielder. And you don't play Nick York. You don't play Jack Sawinski.
Andrew McCutchen. Got it.
You don't play Joe Simpson Garcia. Like you go out there and you find a major league outfielder and you put him on your team. And all these guys who are on the roster resource bench right now move to AAA.
I'm in.
Yeah. Like Nick York couldn't hit in AAA last year. I don't want him hitting in the majors.
Yeah,
I think
him and Nick Gonzalez will both be better. They both dealt with a lot last year. I think they'll both be better if they get an opportunity.
I think Nick Gonzalez is going to do better than he did last year.
Yeah.
I think the injury was a little, hampering him as well.
Yeah. And Nick York had an injury early on. I think it was wrist or hand early in the season. So I'm hoping that'll be something that jumps out. So.
Yeah. No, just kind of back to my original point. Like, I don't want to find out what people have right now. Like, I have no interest in finding out about anyone.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd rather bet on them, right? Give them a month if need be.
Go out there and get someone who you know is going to be a good player. That's where I'm at.
I'm with you.
At least that many of them. Like, that's the problem. When you have like 6 or 7 guys, then you don't really have an
like a couple of people.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's already a few guys in the lineup that we're talking that way about. Like
Triolo.
I don't even know who O'Neill Cruz is right now. Like,
right.
O'Neill Cruz, who's O'Neill Cruz? Who's Jared Triolo? Who's Henry Davis? There's already a lot of those guys.
Is Brian Reynolds going to bounce back?
Yeah. Who's Brian Reynolds? Jeez. Is Brian Reynolds cooked? Is Brian Reynolds who he was before?
He threw me off last year so bad because how good he was defensively in the second half.
Yeah.
Like, so, it's going to be interesting.
I think Brian Reynolds is going to have a bounce back year, but like, I'm not positive he is.
I agree.
Brian Reynolds got a tough draw because who are you not pitching to in our lineup?
Yeah, I mean, last year everyone was terrible, right?
So when O'Neill Cruz kind of fell off and Cutch was in and out of the lineup, but Cutch was usually hitting in 2 down from him. Like Horowitz was getting the benefit of Brian Reynolds, right? Mm-hmm. But nobody else was. And Brian Reynolds was getting nothing because we were rotating Nick Gonzalez into that 3-hole. Canario hit third some. It was just a different animal. So I think having a low O'Hearn, all these guys with established thump, not even home run thump, just gap to gap thump is going to change a lot of things for those guys because you have to make a choice. So Brian Reynolds' cold streaks aren't going to be as cold.
Yeah, I agree. But again, kind of the point, like you already have some guys embedded into this everyday lineup, like a Triolo at this point in time.
Yeah.
Henry Davis, and there's still, you're adding 3 or 4 more of those. It's like, okay, I want some certainty, like as Jim is alluding to, on some other positions that are adding in here. So, but either way.
Yeah, either way. So we're pretty much on the same page. We didn't argue about anything. What's wrong with us?
Well, your stupid coleslaw take, but buddy.
It's too vinegary. Mayonnaise sucks.
Oh, and your corn dog take.
That was my choice. I got to choose.
The corn dog take was, it was, yeah, I'm good with it.
It wasn't abomination enough for me.
Healthy corn dogs isn't, that's
you're
not.
Right.
Although maybe just the fact that you're making corn dogs healthy is an abomination.
I agree. I'm trying to do too much there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Nagowski knew what he was doing.
Healthy. Yeah.
He
had a
did.
job to do, and he did it.
He did. That's why he's the big Nagowski. He earned it.
There it is.
Yep. All right, boys. Thank you.
Well, Fort, we'll see you on Saturday, right? You'll be out there.
I'll be crutching
rolling around.
and the golf cart.
If you show
security
up,
would be by your side.
Yep. Moat's coming. I'll be like, hey, I need a pass for Moat.
There it is.
I got the security.
All right. See you guys. Appreciate you.
Well, as always, love having you on.
Yeah, appreciate it. Love coming on.
Yep. Everyone can like, subscribe, all the fun stuff. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.